reason I was excited to play Kang in particular is that he does that potentially, with this idea of variance, that there's multiple versions of him.
Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
I'm very excited to talk with you about this movie. First of all, sometimes the villains we see on screen represent our biggest fears as individuals, but above all, as a society. It doesn't matter if it's a superhero movie or a more realistic story. So, what do you think Kang represents for the audience?
I guess we have to be specific. I mean, Kang represents our relationship, many things, but the answer right now, today, I'll say is that he represents the threat and the promise of time. And he forces us to explore the consequence of it. And I think that's quite confronting.
And I need to get out of here. Bring me what I want. What's that?
Well, talking about Kang, he has a fascinating quote in the movie. He gives a speech and says, the history is not written, but is forged. And that idea is scary because it means that one person or a small group of people decides humanity's fate. So what do you think about it?
I don't know if it's untrue. I think you can think of a small group of people as an entire generation. It's quite relative, who it is that's making the history and how they're making their history. The fact of the matter is history is not written. Just because you write something once upon a time doesn't mean it's true. History is made in the moment, in the present day. And the size of the participants in that vary. But when you look at it in contrast to the entire human population, it is a small group, even if it's an entire country, even if it's Ukraine. Right? That's a small group of people, but they are forging history, and we will write about it.
You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is.
Looking at the history of humanity, you realize that the biggest conquerors had a very distinctive personality beyond their motivations to embark on a conquest. They are charming, self-confident, ambitious, great strategists and leaders. So what is the most attractive virtue in Kang, consider he's a conqueror?
I would say his focus. He has an unwavering focus, and that's important because the world is so loud. Even the quantum realm, it's so loud. You can have whatever opinion you have on what it is he's trying to do. He is not to be trifled with, in regards to him achieving that. And imagine if that was I think if we take that quality and apply it to our own personal lives, I think we would succeed.
He's a monster who thinks he's a god.
Something I like about certain villains in the MCU, like Thanos and Kang, is that their ultimate purpose keep them closer to becoming heroes because they don't want power for power's sake. Their intentions are bigger than themselves. Why did you decide to play Kang as the new biggest villain in the MCU?
I mean, the answer right now is we need to deviant. That's something that Lenny Bruce, the comedian, would say. We need to deviant. You need the thing that's going to step into society and shake it up, and hold a mirror up. And I think the MCU villains, the canon of the villains, historically and notoriously do that at a very high level. And it gives the audiences something to think about and be curious about. The reason I was excited to play Kang in particular is that he does that potentially, with this idea of variance, that there's multiple versions of him, and so he gets multiple options and multiple avenues to achieve that, to do just that, to shake up society, to have them examine things. So as an artist, that's just a really good, for me, that's a really exciting task.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations for the movie. Take care.
Peace.
I'm sorry, Cassie.